On this episode of Rock Down South, we sit down with From Ashes to New. This is an absolute banger of an episode, so you definitely don't want to miss it. We hope y'all enjoy. Let's go.
What's up? This is Danny from the band From Ashes to New, and you're listening to Rock Down South.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Rock Down South, your home for rock and country music. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Danny Case, lead singer from the hard rock band From Ashes to New. And these guys are a band that I am super impressed by. They're firing on all cylinders and have great music, a captivating live show, and excellent music videos. So if you haven't checked them out, definitely go do that ASAP. We talk all about the band started up, songwriting, their new singles Armageddon and Hate Me Too, and of course, the upcoming album titled Blackout, which will be released on July 28th. So without further ado, here's the show. Danny, what's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Really excited to talk to you today about the new album, the band, and everything. But yeah, it's going to be a fun one, man. Thanks for jumping on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So let's take it back a little bit. I know the band is originally from Lancaster, and I know you joined a couple albums ago. But tell me about, I guess, how the band came together a little bit, and then when you kind of came into the scene.
Sure, yeah. Matt started the band in 2013 and kind of like banded together a few guys in his local scene, and it just took off. And he kept writing, and when you have that kind of very fast and very intense success, things can boil over and egos can clash. And so for whatever reason, it didn't work out. Matt continued on, and through the grapevine, just heard about me and discovered me. I was just kind of doing stuff in my own band and touring around and stuff. It was never really anything big, but he reached out to me, and we started working together and haven't looked back. So that was in 2017. So it's 6 years now.
Wow. And where are you originally from?
I'm from Rochester, New York, which is nowhere near New York City for anyone who has no idea that there's an entire state attached to that city.
Yeah, that's a ways away. It's not close by.
Yeah, I'm almost Canadian. So literally on the opposite side of Lake Ontario. So
yeah,
of Canada. So
that's cool. So you guys started out there, you joined in 2017, and then just off to the races after that.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. Well, one of the things I like about you guys and I admire about you guys is I know that you were super hard workers. And, just from my perspective as, somebody who listens to music and, watches stuff in the scene, but I think you guys are doing everything that you guys absolutely should be doing. I mean, you're on one of the best labels out there, Better Noise Music, for one of the best, if not the best, for hard rock right now. You got a new album coming out. You got great high energy songs. You got tons and tons of music videos and music videos that look super professional. Of course, and you're also touring constantly with the best bands in the business. And you got a really great stage presence now that's been updated. And of course, you didn't leave people hanging over quarantine. I know you released the album and then the 3 EPs with cover songs and some new songs to keep the fans entertained. So I think you guys are fantastic, and I know you guys are hard workers.
Yeah, thanks, man. Honestly, I've never really sat back and pieced all that together that way. When you're in it, you can kind of be blind to all the things that that you really are doing. So it's cool to see that laid out in its entirety. It's like, yeah, we are doing pretty good, and thank you for recognizing that, because we have our heads down working all the time, and sometimes it's good to take a step back and remember, like, hey, yeah, we're doing okay.
Well, I think it's been paying off. You guys get great views on YouTube. And I think just organically, that's how I started following you a little bit more as the time went on. I knew about you, and I know the names of a lot of bands, because I'll see them announced on tour. I'll see music here and there. But just with you guys grinding it out really over the past year, or maybe a little bit more, I've just been seeing more and more of your name come up, more music videos. And then just organically, I just started watching more of your videos that popped up on YouTube to where I'd check the new singles out. And, that's kind of how you guys got me just kind of organically through just like listening to stuff that was put out. So I think it's been
That's
paying
awesome.
off for fans.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, everything that we do is for the fans. We ultimately are here because of our fan base. So whenever we do stuff, whether it's music videos or music or merchandise, we're always just trying to think of what would they want. How can we best, service them?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when it comes to your music, one of the things I like about you guys as well is your sound, which I'm sure everybody talks about all the time. But it's really I don't even know what's coming up next a lot of times with your music. It could be rap, it could be rock, which I love. I love that combination, but I don't even consider you guys like a rap rock band, off the get. I just think of it as like a fun element that's thrown in there.
Sure.
But I just think you guys is like really great music that, has those elements that come in from time to time.
Yeah, I have never really liked the uh,
Labels.
genre labeling to the point where it's like five different names for a genre just to boil it down to its smallest subdivisions. Like what kind of music is it? That to me, that is all that matters. Like, oh, they're a hard rock band and they rap too. So there's like hip hop elements. Like, no, it's a new metal / rap metal / metalcore / it's like, I don't care. Just tell me what kind of music it is and I'll listen to it.
And not to bring up the most simple comparison, which would be Linkin Park, which I know you guys have probably been influenced by or compared to, but I think they did a great job with this where when you think about Linkin Park, you don't think of like rap rock band. You just think of Linkin Park and the great music they put out. Maybe there might be some rap influences on some songs, maybe not. You don't know. You don't know what's going to get you.
Yeah,
But that's kind of how I think of you guys in that similar tone. Not really comparing you to Linkin Park, while there are some similarities, but you just kind of think of From Ashes to New. Hard rock. You kind of don't know what you're going to get. It really depends on the song.
for sure. Yeah. And honestly, we kind of like that because I don't know. Like, if you look at any great chef, they're not just going to make spaghetti and meatballs every day. That would be torture and it would not be fun. They're going to make, every now and then they're going to make maybe beef stew or whatever. So for us, like, yeah, sometimes we want to make like an insanely heavy and really aggressive song. Sometimes we're going to make something that's really aggressive rap and really rap heavy. Other times we're going to make a song like Hate Me Too, where we take a blow up doll and pretend to kill it. Um, and that's the music video. But the song is very lighthearted sounding. And it's like we just like to do different stuff and we do it as us, and that's how we feel like our identity comes across, is that it's the four of us doing it, and we feel like all human beings are unique, so our combination of making music is unique from someone else's combination of doing it, and whatever we put out is us.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, and I like it. You don't want to be labeled as like that band that only does like the rap rock or only does like the clean rock. I kind of like what you guys are doing, where it's you kind of it's whatever the song is. What I mean? That's it, and that's what people think about.
Yeah, and my favorite band is Avenged Sevenfold, and I think they're like the greatest example of that. I mean, for Christ's sake, they made a freaking country song and then another song.
Dear God,
Yeah. And then they made another song that was like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's a little piece of heaven where it's like
the theatrical one,
yeah,
yeah.
theatrical circus music, all on the same record. And they were both gigantic songs.
That was a really good record. They were definitely one of my favorite bands. They're probably my favorite band for many years. I saw them many times in like 07, 08, back in the
Nice.
day.
Nice. I didn't get to see them with the Rev, but I've seen them a lot since, and they are my favorite band. So I think that's maybe where my take on music comes from, is that like you should be able to do whatever you want, as long as it's authentic and good music.
Yeah. And so when it comes to you singing and then Matt singing and rapping and screaming and stuff, I really like the pair of you guys together. I really think you guys embody really the word synergy, which is, of course, when two objects come together and their output is greater than what they could do individually, is
Yeah.
really kind of what that comes down to. I really enjoy both of you guys together, and the sum of you guys together is far more powerful than musically than just individually, in my opinion.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's yeah, we like working off each other and trying to do things where either I can back Matt or he can, do something maybe like leading into a chorus, or he can end a chorus with a scream or something like that. We're always trying to find new ways to like do things together rather than, okay, this is Matt and then he stops and then this is me. It's like, yes, that's still like us together on the same song, but we're also trying to like blend together as much as we can and try to overlap some parts.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not just doing the raps; he's doing screams, he's doing some singing, and then you're
Yep.
doing screams, and of course you're doing predominantly the singing. But you guys just keep me on my toes, which is so cool.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the brand new album Blackout coming out July 28th. How excited are you guys for this album to come out? I know you've already released, I think it was 5 or 6 songs, but this album seems pretty fun so far.
Yeah, it's diverse. It's got a lot of really great songs on it. Lots of heaviness, lots of catchiness, some softer songs like Hate Me Too, and some really, really heavy stuff as well. We really kind of stretched it at both ends. And I feel like it's our most diverse record yet. It also sounds the best. The guys who worked on our record, from recording it to mixing it and mastering it, this record just sounds so much better than our old records.
How long have you been working on this one?
Oh, well, we started writing early 2021. It was done in the summer, and then we added in 2 more songs in the winter. So it's been done since the end of 2021.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
it's been done for a minute.
It's been done for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, I like the songs. You talked about "Hate Me Too." I love that poppy chorus that it has in it. That poppy element. It has a little bit of that Blink 182 vibe thrown in there, which I liked, and it was quite different.
Yeah, that was just one where we wanted to make something a little more mainstream. Maybe it feels a little more uppity and like lighthearted. And that's just kind of how it came out. And we had fun with it. We wrote it in a day.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
A day? Wow.
we tried not to think too much about it and just push it out and see what happened.
When it comes to your songwriting, and we'll get back to the album, but just since we're on the topic, when it comes to your songwriting, how does that come together? Are some of those best songs usually the ones that come together really quick like this, or do you also have good songs that come together and just take forever, work in pieces type thing? What's usually your path, or that you're seeing most common?
Yeah, I think it's funny because it always happens the same way. And maybe because we think that that's why it keeps happening. But basically, we'll spend a really good amount of time writing and bringing the album together, and then it'll come to a point where we need one more song and we need it done ASAP. And then we write that song in one day or 2 days, and it's done, and then it's the biggest song on the album. Like, we put in all this work on all these other songs, and then for some reason, out of nowhere, this other song just comes into creation and steals the spotlight. It happened with Crazy. We did that song in one day. It happened with
Wow.
Panic. I went and wrote the entire musical bed and had a melody idea, and that part took a week. But when it came to like studio time, it was like all the lyrics and everything were written in it and recorded in like 48 hours.
Wow.
And the same thing with Hate Me Too. That was done in 2 days. So I don't know why that keeps happening. Maybe it's just because we're like, we need to make decisions and this needs to be done right now. So just let's do things and then just fly with it. rather than sitting and thinking and going, can we improve this? Can we change that? What if we do this here? And it's like, we don't have the time to do that with those 3 songs. So we just like went with our gut, I guess, and didn't have the time to sit back and listen and contemplate and critique and stuff. And somehow those songs keep turning out the best.
Maybe you need to start adopting a writing process like that. You guys get thrown into something, you're like, all right, we got 24 hours to make a song. Here we go. And that's it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll book 2 weeks of studio time and that's it. And it's like, Jesus Christ, we have to get in there. All right, write the first song, hurry up, give me a riff. Like, all right, here's the idea, here's a melody. All right, tomorrow, next song. Give me 2 weeks.
That'd be funny. That's such a weird phenomenon when that happens like that. But glad that worked on Hate Me Too, because I do like that song. But some of the other songs I like off the album already, you know, of course, Armageddon, the new single, which I really like. It's aggressive, got that aggressive rap in there, and then just the awesome chorus. Tell me about that single a little bit, because, you know, of course, Armageddon's a big topic.
Yeah, I think it just came about at a time, like, obviously it was the summer of 2021, so, you know, there was still plenty of bad things happening in the state of the world as far as like just coming out of like the lockdowns and, you know, all that stuff. There was just so much discord in the world, and it just seemed like everything was kind of falling apart, and everyone was becoming more and more polarized by the day, that there was a new crisis every day. And that was just like our take on, just like, it just seems like the end of the world. And so we decided to kind of write about that.
Yeah, it's a good music video too. I mean, all your music videos recently have been really, really high quality. I like them a lot, like Nightmare. And then and of course, you had some other songs as well, like Until We Break and Heartache as well. But I don't know. It's off to like a really good start, man. Hopefully you have some other good songs on there as well, because these are all very, very good.
I still think that a few of the best songs on the record haven't been released. Barely Breathing, I think, is the biggest song we've ever made. And it's actually not that heavy, but that just means it's more palatable for a wider audience, you know. So, but the chorus is just phenomenal, and the sounds that we've picked out for the song in its entirety are just really, they're just really well done. And that's props to our producers and stuff, because they help a lot with that. So I think that song is probably going to be our biggest song. And then we also have some really hardcore heavy bangers, like Dead to Me. That song is just absurdly heavy. So yeah, there's still a lot of great stuff to be heard on the record.
Well, excellent. Well, I can't wait to hear it. It sounds like you guys pushed yourselves to get out into a little bit newer territory with this one, but also getting back to more rap and stuff in it, which I like. So yeah, we got a lot to look forward to with that one.
Yeah.
And so I got to ask you about your vest. I think I saw a video recently that went into detail about it, because I had no idea about it, but it was it's haptic feedbacks that are in there. Can you tell me about that setup and kind of the idea when this started coming up?
Yeah, so I had been wanting to wear some kind of vest for a while, and you know, I'd been looking and looking and looking, and the only thing I could find was some crappy, you know, tactical vest on Amazon. I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna wear this for now, because like I wanted to have something on that had a textured kind of cool look to it. And I wore that for a while, and I kept looking and looking and looking and looking, and I don't know how or when it happened, but I must have seen an ad for something about haptic feedback for maybe VR gaming, and it just like sparked my interest. And you know, I went and looked for a vest, and found this one, and I was like, this one looks really cool. Like, aside from the fact that, you know, I could use it for like first person shooter, like VR gaming, I was like, this will just look good for stage. And I was like, and honestly, maybe it has an audio feature where, you know, it just takes audio and turns it into haptic feedback. So I bought it, read through the manual, and sure enough, there's an audio feature, and there's a whole app where you can control the EQ of the feedback. So it's like, if you only want the low end to be responsive, you just take out all the higher end frequencies, and then it only responds to like sub bass and like kick drum and stuff like that. Only the lowest end of the mix of a song or whatever audio is coming in. So I was like, I'm pretty sure that if I take my in-ear pack, which is how we hear everything live, I put an audio splitter in it, and then I take the one cable that goes to my ears, plug it into one, and then the one cable that goes to the vest and plug it into the other. Pretty sure I can hear everything live. And then the vest should get all the input from what's in my mix, and it should respond to it. And it did. And I was like, this is sick, because it is like, our drummer will hit like a bass drop, and like the entire vest, front and back, will vibrate like a massage gun. Like it is super intense. And that's a cool thing to feel. It's like you're literally getting to feel the music. And some people think that like, oh, well, you're on stage. Don't you feel that already? It's like, kind of. You might feel that in your feet, but ultimately not really. Like the people in front of the speakers are really going to feel it a lot more.
Well, you're also wearing in-ears where you don't want to blow your hearing out and feel it 100%.
Right. So, that keeps you from hearing the sound system live. So I decided to start wearing that. And I was like, you know what? Not only is this super cool to experience and to wear every night, and it looks great, it's also a great story. So I was like, I'm going to turn this into an Instagram reel or whatever. And I mean, sure as shit, like it has millions and millions of views, which is insane. I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but there were a lot of people who thought it was cool. So
Yeah, I'd never seen anything like it. I thought it was super cool and creative. So definitely wanted to ask you about that today. In addition to your stage presence, which I feel like has gotten a little bit more theatrical with the face paint and stuff like that, and what was kind of the motivation around that?
Lance has always kind of been the spearhead of that. And Lance has a great look, and so we were like, we want to look cohesive. Like, let's try to assimilate and figure out a way for us all to kind of tap into that. And that's kind of where that came from. There were other more like ideas that we had elaborated on to like give a reasoning behind it. We ultimately abandoned it. We were like, let's just do it. And we liked the way it looked. People started showing up to shows, wearing the different like face makeup, which is really cool. And ultimately, I think it gave people something like identifiable to latch onto and even be a part of, if they wanted to do the painting as well.
Yeah, I love it. I think it goes really well together. A lot of your videos, are really epic, apocalyptic in nature with a lot of stuff going on. So that and the theatrics just work really well together. And I'm excited to see you guys play live. I actually haven't seen you play, I don't think. I would have remembered it.
I mean, it's been a minute since we've been in Atlanta, so, but it might be on this upcoming tour. We're going out in the summer with In This Moment, Motionless in White, and Fit for a King. And I'm not sure if Atlanta's on there or not, but we got to make our way there soon.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You're gonna have to bring up the theatrics a little bit if you're playing within this moment. They're all about it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna outdo them.
So Danny, do you have any pre-show rituals or warm-ups that you have to go through or that you like to go through?
Yeah, I have plenty of warm-ups that I'm always doing. So I'm always going through my warm-ups, making sure my voice is good to go. Other than that, like ritual wise, oh, I put a monster in the freezer so that way it's super, super cold by the time we get off stage. Not frozen, but because that wouldn't work. But yeah, pretty much every single time we play a show, I put a monster in our freezer right before we go on stage, get off stage, and have myself a ice cold monster. That's a great way to come off the stage. Other than that, I don't really have any rituals. We do like, we get together in a circle and we'll chant whatever we're feeling, on three, fist bump everyone. Our drummer likes to bust out this big speaker that we bring along with us and play some tunes real loud. And sometimes we get a bit destructive on the bus. So sometimes that happens. I think the last time we did it, we had a whole bunch of burger buns and hot dog buns that were left over from an extended few days off that we had where we were grilling outside, and they had gone bad. So we took them and we had a bread war on the bus. We were just whipping bread at each other.
That sounds fun. All right. So these next questions are what we close with and ask everyone. So first question, what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Keep doing whatever it is that you're doing.
Good answer. Next question. What are you drinking lately? And if you don't drink alcohol, it could be anything refreshing you like to drink.
This is going to sound like an ad, but I swear to God, it's not. Monster Energy, 2 a day, probably not the greatest for my health, but I stay in the gym enough to where, I'm a pretty healthy guy. So I just got a Monster fridge downstairs and just got a whole bunch of packs of Monster. And yeah, I don't punch drywall, but I love me some Monster Energy, man. That is like the one thing I just can't let go of. I don't really drink. I don't do any kind of drugs or anything like that. Don't really party. I'm healthy, stay in the gym, and I just can't get away from this stuff.
Full sugar, or do you do sugar free?
Full sugar. And you know what? I'm okay with it. It is the best drink in the world to me.
Yeah, Monster's pretty good. I think you guys need to get promoted by them. There you go.
That would be pretty cool. I would love to do that, considering I give them all my money anyways.
And so, as you know, this is Rock Down South. So, what is something, or maybe a couple things that come to mind, that you love about the South?
Oh, I can't. There are some answers I can't say. Let me give you an answer from me before I met my fiance.
I know what you're going. That's a very popular answer. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I'm a taken man now, but 25-year-old Danny would absolutely say the girls down south there's something else, man. So there's that, but I am happily engaged. And
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
and so I would also say, I would say like the food, the weather, everything about the South, I think is ultimately, listen, I'm not really a fan of the North. I'm not really a fan of my area either. It's obviously where I grew up, and like it'll always have a special place in my heart, but like North Carolina and Georgia and Florida, and like Tennessee and all of those states, I prefer. I hate the winter, can't stand it. So the weather is incredible in the South. The food is almost always better. Yeah, there's a whole lot of things. I could probably keep going.
No, that's a fantastic answer. I love it. Where are you guys out of now?
The band is still based out of Lancaster, PA. I'm still in Rochester, New York. 13 months of winter every year. But maybe that'll change eventually. But the band's based out of Pennsylvania.
Okay, still over there. Okay. You guys did make a move. Well, no need to make a move out to Los Angeles or anywhere right now, especially after COVID and when everybody figured out they could work and do everything from home.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I would ever move to California, even if someone paid me.
No, everybody's leaving there. They're moving to Las Vegas and other places in Nashville, but
Yep, Las Vegas, Nashville, and Florida.
yep. Well, thank you so much, Danny, for being a part of the show today. Where can people find and connect with you guys online?
Oh man, everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. Just look up From Ashes to New, and you should be able to find us. And thanks to all of our fans for continually supporting us and making what we do possible and enjoyable. We love all our fans. Can't wait to see you guys this summer.
Thank you so much for listening to the show today. We hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I had an absolute blast talking with Danny. He's a super talented singer, and From Ashes to New is absolutely killing it in the hard rock scene right now. I can't wait to hear more music from the band and see him live on tour pretty soon. So make sure to go follow Danny Case and From Ashes to New on all of their social media pages and check out their latest singles for Armageddon and Hate Me Too from their upcoming album titled Blackout, which will be released on July 28th. You can find all our content at rockdownsouth.com and make sure to go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest updates. Leave us a 5-star review if you can. We would really appreciate it. And as always, the views and opinions expressed by our guests are theirs and don't necessarily reflect our own. I'm Mark, and you've been listening to Rock Down South. See y'all next time.